Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and we've got some big updates for the car market. Before we get into this video though, as always, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car guide in the description down below, and then some of the information provided in today's video comes from Cox Automotive. Let's get into it. So we're going to start off with going over what's happening in the used car market, and then we're going to dive into the new car market, and then we're going to bring everything together and explain how it is all interconnected as things are. So new car retail sales increased in January. Now this is very important to note because we've had a recent slump in the wholesale market with used cars, not a massive slump, but a recent slump. And so seeing retail sales be stronger with used cars shows that that slump might not be all that long-lived. Basically, there was an increase from December to January with used car retail sales. Now, year over year, so January 23 to January 2024, there was a 3.1% decline. But seeing a month-over-month increase, especially from December, which is always a big sales month, that is impressive. And January was the biggest used car sales month that we've seen in like the last 6 months. And so that shows that we're starting to see, some traction in the used car market. There are, however, some things that go against the used car market. And the first thing is day supply. So the day supply number in February started at a 49-day supply. January was at a 58-day supply. So there are even fewer used cars available. And this is something we've talked about on the channel. The lack of availability of used cars has dampened the demand for used cars because people just simply can't find what they're looking for. Now let's dive over into the new car market. Sales have started to pick up. Now basically, if you don't know, January was not a horrible month, but it wasn't really a great month for new car sales. February is showing to actually be stronger. The sales pace, again, this month isn't fully done, but the estimated sales pace from Cox Automotive is going to be 15.4 million units for the revolving year-over-year change, which is up from last month, which is closer to 15 million. And then, February last year was 14.9 million. And so you can see that volume is picking up in the new car market. And the fact that we're having a stronger February this year compared to last year is a really good sign, because last year was an improvement from the year prior. So that means that this year might actually end up being an improvement from last year. Again, that wasn't expected. A lot of people were thinking that this year was going to be worse, including myself, right? I was in that camp because it's like, man, things have been really soft in the market overall. But something to note about this February, it's leap year. And so this February has one more day that is a selling day compared to, most Februarys, or just one more day in general, right? It depends on how the weekends, work within any given month. But yeah, having one more day in the month does help out in terms of sales. So that is something to also consider about this February versus last February when we're comparing them. I think a better comparison will be when we compare, March, April, that's tax season, but then also those months, they don't have an extra day every so often like February has. So with that being said, let's now dive into what this means for the broader market and how this is kind of all interconnected. So with both of the markets increasing at the same time, you might think that that is odd, but it's not odd at all, because this is usually how the markets interact. It's not hey, one market's up and one market's down. Sometimes that does happen, but most of the time, either both markets are up or both markets are down. So the reason why both markets are up is, although things haven't changed all that much economically, that's actually a good thing for the car market because it's stability. And so with stability, this allows for more people to enter into the market because there's not big ups and downs in the overall economy. And again, I'm not saying the economy is in the best state ever, but stability, whether it's stability in a bad state or a good state, is better than big fluctuations. And that definitely holds true for, people going out and buying cars. And so, for example, interest rates, they're really high right now compared to what we saw for the last 10 years. But because they've just stuck at the same amount for like the last, 6+ months at this point, people are like, okay, this is what the rates are, right? As people said over the pandemic, new normal, right? It's the new normal for the rates. So that's the first reason as to why both the markets are kind of elevated, is because of the stability that we have. And it also shows that there's some level of economic health, because people wouldn't buy a car if they were just completely destroyed financially. The other thing that this shows is that people are actually shopping, because what is really happening right now is people are going in and they're shopping for new cars because we see all these discounts, we see all these cemented rates being advertised, and then they realize that the new car just doesn't make sense. Again, the average brand new car is almost $50,000, whereas the average used car is closer to like $26,000. So you have people going in thinking they're going to buy a new car, realizing that it's just out of the budget, and then they go into the used car market. And anecdotally, that is definitely what I'm seeing is people are going in thinking they're going to buy new, and then they switch themselves to pre-owned because the pricing just makes more sense. And you look at the interest rates between new and pre-owned, outside of cemented rates, if you're just doing traditional loans, there is a difference, but it's not a massive difference, and the price difference is what is going to make a much bigger difference when it comes to the payments with vehicles new versus used. And so I think that's actually how these markets are really interconnected, is you're seeing a lot of downstream traffic from the new car market into the used car market. And there is a little bit the other direction as well, because again, with the used car market being so tight with inventory, you have people in a situation where they can't find what they are looking for, so then they just go new because they're like, okay, I want a car in this color, I want it with this features, can't find it on the pre-owned market anywhere anyway, so I'm just going to go and buy new instead. And so with these trends moving forward, this shows that the car market this year is actually going to be stronger than even I predicted, or it looks like it'll be stronger than even I predicted. But I do want to mention that this is still not a strong market, because again, prior to the pandemic, the new car market was seeing close to around 17 million new vehicles sold per year, and the used car market, wholesale, retail, all that combined was over 40 million vehicles per year is what it typically saw. And so with us pacing in that, mid 30 million unit range for the used market and the 15 million unit range for the new market, shows a contracted market. And you have to remember that the US population, right, is continuing to increase as this goes on. So there are more people living in this country today in 2024 than there were back in, 2016, 2017, for example. And so this just shows that overall the car market is just smaller, but people still need transportation. And so, yeah, this is a good sign, but the market's, in my personal opinion, it's not where it needs to be. I think that the market should actually probably be bigger than what it was prior to the pandemic, with what people are needing from a vehicle perspective. And also with these modern cars, they're more reliable in some ways, but, and this is a conversation for a completely different video, but like in other ways they are not. And so we're probably going to need more cars anyways because of the lifespans of some of these modern cars. Anyways, let me know what you think. I'll see you.